And we are live. No introductions tonight, ladies and gentlemen. There's no point for it. We're going right into action tonight, and as such, we're finding ourselves in the humble reflection of an abandoned warehouse where once before business was booming, but now all that is left is a decayed sense of nothingness, in the Tellurian at least. The humble reflection, though, is far different. Consecrated space of corrupted worm emanations and energies permeate in this pit, hidden deep within the bowels of this warehouse, where dripping pipes and veins sneak through the darkness. Mushrooms of baleful green grow throughout, tainted by the touch that can cause a normal individual to simply go insane. But for the three residents of this pit, it is far, far benign. In the shadows cast by the heavy pipes, a figure, a totem of sorts, lingers and watches its children as they meet together in front of a large stone slab, a new addition for a very sinister purpose. Sitting atop this stone slab, which is set at a slight angle on the far end with legs hanging off, the barefooted form of the Picted Blood Black Spile Dancer known as Joyce Rourke, or by her deed name of Ilaria's Scream, holds a hand out, a man manipulating glowing orbs of a prismatic and violet stone, shards, if you will. Watching them move as she manipulates the gnosis within her hands, caught up in their luster, and smiling to herself with a very obsessive appeal in her eyes.
Ren's the Pure is on top of the stone slab, crouching on it, directly in the middle, looking down at the blood stains of the spirits that have been sacrificed here, and the spirits that will be sacrificed here, in the name of a great father, the worm. She's a tad bit laden, isn't she?
Stylishly late, I believe, is the term, or fashionably late.
I guess.
Sarah, she is fashionably late, but she seems really excited about something. In fact, you can tell she did all in her power to get here as quickly as possible, as she's still vibrating a bit from the use of a certain gift, and she's panting and grinning as she holds an envelope in her hands, a unmarked manila envelope. She just throws the door open. She's like, "Hey!"
There you are, Zyuk.
"Hey, Renz, I got a present for you."
Oh, really?
"Yeah, I made a new friend, and guess what he left?" And she tosses the folder at him and closes the door behind her.
Gonna catch it, sniff it, opens the folder.
There's a little, I guess they keep them on CDs, so there's like a little CD in it. And it's just marked with a big ol' smiley face.
What's this?
This My good Wrens, this is a veil breach.
Oh? Do share. He's gonna stand up.
Well, you know how I was playing with the idea of slipping some long pork into O'Toole's to see if we can't, get some more of our forces in here really quick?
Uh-huh.
Well, it worked. It was awesome. It was kick-ass. Joy, you would have loved it. I I was almost a theurge in that moment. I got that shit rolling and I was there waiting the exact second that they would get possessed, and it all worked and it spread rapidly. But in the midst of the crowd that I was transforming, I happened upon a little somebody who just so happened to be one of those Gaian idiots.
Waywards, dear, waywards. Remember,
Waywards, so politically correct.
they know not what they do. And she'll spin around and stand and walk down the inclined slab until she comes up before her dear Sarah, standing at her full height and smirking, though not focusing her eyes on Sarah whatsoever, and she has no need to.
Sarah will wrap her arms around her and give her a kiss on the chin before continuing her story. Anyway, this wayward in the middle of this place all alone, surrounded by my creations, he shifted into his full war form and unfortunately took most of them out. But even better, he went to chase one and didn't even think to come back for the security tapes. I followed him and he didn't even mention them. He didn't even seem to realize that they were there. Unfortunately, we didn't part on the best of terms, but I'll take this gift as apology enough.
Oh. Any specifics on this little wayward dog?
Not sure. From what I saw, very, very black, and I know that he's probably not a fury. I didn't get a good smell, but he seemed pretty attached to his firearms. In fact, he didn't go pick up any bullets either. But he seemed very, very angry at the fact that I was Ronin. Didn't have much tolerance. Not a very nice wayward. Not at all. But
Right.
if we check the tape, I'm sure we could get a few more details as to what he looks like. And that's half the battle.
Sounds like an Arun or maybe a Philodox.
You think so?
Perhaps. I've also done a little bit of my own work. Remember remember the little Fiona boy that ripped off my skin back in the warehouse?
Oh, how could I forget?
Yeah, I met him again. He doesn't remember though. I sent him
Oh,
a
well,
little
how was it?
proclamation of war.
Wait a minute, my little Travis boy.
Yes, little Travis boy. I told him he owed me a new suit, and his skin will do just fine.
Wow, David, subtle.
It's not like he ever knew I was there.
All the same,
I've taken a page from both of your books and be a little less stiff, I guess.
I hope that's not taken into literal account.
Very funny.
Hey,
I
be
think
careful.
It's
The
great.
kinfolk back at the tower, they love you. You just don't ever pay them much mind.
And what can I say? Oh, oh, oh. So, there seems to be an investigative bureau here called Black Wolf Investigations. Seems to be owned
Ooh.
by some Black Fury kinfolk.
Ooh.
I think we can play around with that. I think we can play around with that real good.
Hmm.
It'll be so fun. Maybe we can turn them on the right side. Maybe. If we're lucky. What do you think, Joy?
I think I need new clothes.
Well, the Black Furies, after all, are, well, in a very literal sense, the embodiment of Mother Gaia, and if the spirals are the embodiment of Father Worm, then there's only one place they belong. On all fours.
Ooh. Well, what do they look like? Are they cute?
The little girl that I met is fairly pretty.
Ooh.
Hmm. Describe her for me.
Let's see. Pink hair, this weird skirt, fairly short, a little bit of, wasn't the most pure Black Furykin that I've ever seen, but still had a fair bit on her. The only most obvious thing is the pink hair and the weird braided ponytail that she had.
Because that'll help me track her down.
No, this will, as she throws you a business card that belongs to her.
As if able to see it, Joyce catches it in midair between her fingers. Probably more skilled than somebody gifted with sight probably could.
And
Or at least
Sarah,
this is like.
she rests her head against Joy's shoulder to look at it as well.
Her last name is Krykos.
Joy runs her thumb over the surface of the business card, getting a feel for the embossed print, and she brings it up to her nose as your free hand goes to move into Sarah's blonde hair, sort of digging her fingers and gently caressing the scalp. And she takes in a few deep breaths. Hmm. Oh, she does smell nice. And she'll hold the card over to Sarah's nose.
Sarah will sort of use her hand to waft the scent towards her nose, and she smells
Oh,
pretty.
and I think you're gonna like this as well. There's a. I've met a Silver Fangkin. A little bit of a naive girl, but hey, Joy,
Mm-hmm.
you know how you have that very, very, very pure blood, that throwback to, them?
Yeah.
She has the exact same, but then for her tribe.
Now that is interesting.
Dear, dear Miss Cinnamon Harris.
With a name like that, she's almost begging to be found.
Mm-hmm.
So, Miss Harris, Miss Krakos, I'm guessing you would prefer our particular touch? And with that, she runs a hand down and gooses Sarah in the side. Or more of a professional touch?
Uh, I don't know, really. I've already sent her a little gift to her apartment since she's no longer there. And they took care of my little present, which saddens me.
Question: as we have the particular ability to gain certain things from those? Are they on the menu, or do they have other uses?
I don't know. Let's see. The Black Fury girl, I honestly don't care. But for that Silver Fangkin, yeah. No, I have plans for her.
Hmm. So that one we definitely take alive. The other one, what do you want from her? Anything, or do you just want us to play with our food before we eat it?
We could play. We could see what she can do, or we could use her as bait.
Bigger fish to fry.
Bigger fish to fry. But Krako's name, though, I think is fairly famous amongst the Black Fury.
I wouldn't know. It's not my area of expertise.
We might be
So
able
if there
to
were a
lure.
Galliard among us,
I vaguely recall hearing it. I can't remember where though.
hmm.
Hmm.
So look into this kinfolk. Always useful. Of course, I'd rather work through an intermediary this time. I don't want to have them getting on our scent if you two have been going off and directly encountering individuals. Maybe it's time to get one of the Foster and Cleith packs at the tower to work for their Arthro packs. What do you think?
Might be
Sounds
worse.
like a good plan.
They don't remember me, and I used a fake name anyway.
Still,
It's
Better
better
safe
safe
than
than
sorry.
sorry. Yes.
that's why I'm the brains of this operation.
Huh. That's why you're here. Alara scream.
Although I noticed that our dear friend Mr. Greenley didn't join us this evening, again.
Ah, well. Mr. Greenlee has a lot of work to do with the 8 people.
Are they...
Yeah. I don't know how he can stand to be around them.
They're so pompous.
Greedy motherfuckers.
They act like
Uh,
the human world is the only world worth living in.
they're useful for now, but I'm just glad I don't have to talk to them.
Oh
Hmm.
well. We'll see. We'll see how it all ends up. Sarah,
Hmm.
do you know how to reach this, as he holds up the envelope, do you know how to reach this little veil breach?
Not sure. I don't even recall getting a name, but I suppose I could track him by scent rather easily. And I'm sure before long there'll be a police report detailing what kind of gun he used and all of that.
Hmm. Well, how exactly did he leave the scene? Did he leave much things behind except, well, this and bullets?
Well, he hardly cleaned up the mess that he made. He took the heads and the claws and all of the obvious parts of my creations, but just left their bodies all unceremoniously. I was quite surprised. I'm
Hmm.
not
What
sure how.
is the
So a bunch of
governor's
handless and decapitated bodies simply just laying around in an Otulius.
what
Essentially, it'll hurt their business greatly, which is too bad. I may have to hold off on my experiment.
what is the Guru Nation teaching at Cubs and Cleophs these days?
Surely nothing as strict as back when I knew them. They must be losing their touch.
Must be the Silver Fangs in charge again.
They've never not been in charge, my dear friend.
Do I look like I care?
Joyce shrugs. She kind of leans down and starts nibbling on the back of Sarah's ear.
She shakes her head a little bit. Stop it.
Alright. Get a room, you two.
What, you're not gonna come with us?
Hey, I've never been invited before.
Well, I didn't think we'd have to actually ask.
Hey, I may act like a rude guy, but I'm smart enough to not violate the privacy of my two packmates.
Fair enough.
Uninvited, that is.
Well, there is... And she looks, doesn't really look, but turns her head in the direction of the altar. There's the altar, and of course I think our dear mother over there, and she'll nod her chin in the direction of Gluo, always likes to see her pack getting along.
It'll be a celebration in her honor.
Well, how? How? Tell me how, as he throws his arms up in the air. Tell me how I can then possibly refuse a celebration in the honor of our dear mother of Nexus Crawlers.
Not wisely, I'm sure.
I don't know. No, not indeed.
Perhaps you can show us what you consider the proper use for conquested kinfolk.
Ooh, which one of us gets to play the kinfolk this time?
I think that the answer is everybody, dear. Everybody.
Get over here, you both.
And I do believe there we can call that a scene, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to Black Dog Game Factory presents Living World of Darkness.